just won't do it. I don't know.
No?
I don't know what the problem is. Yeah, it won't.
I wonder. Turn off the Wi-Fi, turn it back on. Hello guys, welcome to another Washed by Josh. If you're new or have never cared to tune into one of these, this is basically my Q&A segments. At least that's what I mean them to be, but they often turn into just me blabbing about stuff that I've been up to, plans that I want to get to, things like that. But oh, I think it's working. Oh yeah, totally. Check out these popcorn dishes. We got these from the movie theater, obviously. Or I don't know if that's obvious, but they're like popcorn basket shaped, but they're no, sorry. They're Reese's cup shaped, but they're for popcorn. They're super cool.
I actually realized it's supposed to be like a lid. Like, it's supposed to be like chocolate.
Oh yeah, it is. Oh no, it's not supposed to go like that though. It's supposed to be in, because this is the wrapper and then that's the chocolate. Right? We got those from oh yeah, Indiana Jones. When we went to go see Indiana Jones. We recently saw another movie. We saw Mission Impossible. It was great. The guy beside me really enjoyed the movie. Really enjoyed the movie. It was actually quite hilarious. But AP currently not in use. Internet connection slow. I'm hoping that we don't have a lot of lagging issues because I don't have any data left on my phone. So let's hope that the interwebs are working good. Huh. I wanted to be able to read your guys' comments on here rather than this, because oftentimes it'll just stop showing up here. Let me turn it on to live chat. I can see Elena's hotspot is on here. That's funny. Elena just got here. She's outside, and that's where Ashley's going right now. But oh, okay, I think it worked. Are we connected? Oh no, it didn't work. Dadgummit. Where the heck is our... There we go. Apple flavor soap. Apple scent soap. Alright. You know what? I'll probably have to forget it. I think it's actually just keeps trying and it's failing. So I'll just read it off here. Nicola from the Virgin Islands. We got Eternal Darkness. Brandy. Says it's clear. Karen. Bead Crazy. Tia Green. Oh, Tia. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. I mean, it's not going to stay here probably. We just have it here for now. But... swing! There's a bad glare, but this is the picture that you got me. Thank you so much, Tia. But yeah, what's going on, guys? Thanks for all hopping on. How's my computer doing? Oh yeah, I got some good news. The computer fixed itself, so that's great. Thank you to everyone else who's offered to buy us a new computer. That's very kind. We couldn't accept any of those offers because that's just too much, but thank you so much. There actually, someone was going to send a computer, a laptop that they had left over. That was Mrs. Robertson. I hope she doesn't mind me shouting her out. She actually just sent it in the mail, and then it got stuck at the border or something, or customs or something, sent it back to her, so it didn't come. I was actually gonna make her something in like as a trade, because I also told her that I was not gonna take her computer for free. But she she's become a friend, so it was a little different in that case. But I do appreciate everyone who had offered to buy us a computer, because that's super generous. That's awesome that you guys think that we're worthy of that kind of generosity. But we don't need one anymore anyway, because it's I don't know what happened, but it just worked with no effort even. Just literally turned it on and it worked. So I have no idea. Tia Green says, looks cool, glad you like it. Oh, I love that picture. I just don't like the frame, so we're gonna get it reframed. I just put it there because it was on the floor, and I didn't want it to get wrecked, because we play with Henry and Ava, and if they're running around getting excited and they you know, run into it, I didn't want the glass to break, and you know, that can cause so many different issues, right? So anyway, let me plug you guys in there. Maybe I had to reconcile updates. Maybe. How generous. If anyone still feels the need to buy someone a new computer, hit me up. Renee needs a computer, guys. Oh, your comments disappeared. I wish this tablet was working. For whatever reason, this tablet's just such a piece of junk. And it's not even an iPad. It's a Samsung something. It's quite old now, but still, it should still work. At least it just connects to the internet. I don't know why it's not. I do these things called After Church on Patreon, which are just me telling a story or whatever that I find interesting. And during one of those is when it stopped working. I've never want to touch another computer other than my phone again. Good that your computer randomly started working. I know, right? Like, what the heck? I wish I knew what was wrong with it, but I don't know. So, I have 3 vlogs that I've uploaded. I just haven't had them go live yet. They're just part 1, 2, and 3 of my art walk tour. I just have to work on the descriptions a little bit. So I'll have those out maybe tomorrow. I'll probably release 1 a day. So there'll be 3 in a row. And then the end of part 3, the bonus scene, talks about this piece of art that I have right there that I'm going to finally finish, which I'll do in the next vlog. And then the next vlog after that, I think, is going to be a garden and chicken update. And then after that is going to be another bonsai tree update. And then after that, I think Caden's been building a table that you may have seen in the background of other vlogs. That's going to be, I think, the next one, maybe. And then we have a collaboration with Practical Homestead. Almost forgot that name. Practical Homestead. And then I got a couple other ones that maybe I just should stop saying, because then I'll forget that I've already said it, and then you'll be like, hey, what's the story with the whatever vlog? And I'll be like, what? Oh yeah. There's a few that we have kind of in the wings, if you will. That's so great, Josh. We're going through withdrawals. Ha! Good. It's been a while, except for the shorty. Oh yeah, that's the shortest vlog I've ever made. I am going to put out a short here right away. I actually started doing it today, and then I realized that it had no sound, and I was like, oh, what the heck, now I have to start all over, which is not a big deal. Because shorts are only a minute. They're actually 59 seconds. They're not even a minute. But YouTube always adds a second. So, which I don't know why. It's just they do. So my video, my shorts, learned that they can only do 59 seconds. Otherwise, they just upload as a regular length, or as a, like, it's still a short video. It's still a minute and 1 second, but it won't go into the shorts section of your channel, which is fine. You may have noticed not too long ago, one of my shorts, I uploaded as a regular upload, and then I deleted it, and then I re-uploaded it 1 second shorter. Yeah, those actually take a long time to make, though. They take, like, well, it depends. The one with the where I had the bonsai tree, or the spoon's eye tree that I gave to Jen, that short took me like 4 hours to make, which is ridiculous because it's literally 1 minute long, 59 seconds long. But the edit didn't take that long, I guess, in terms of what I knew I was going to put in there. I had just had to find the footage, select it, chop it up, and then find the music, put the music on. Yeah, everything took, it made it take a long time. I couldn't believe how long it took me. I was like, what the heck? But, yeah. And they're definitely a divider. Some people hate them, some people like them. 5 to 8 minutes, or was it shorter? I can't remember. I don't remember how long it was. I only had like 12 minutes of footage left on my phone to be able to film. Damn it. So yeah. It can go on the art walk with you. He did not. He wasn't here. He was only here for literally 1 day. And we went to the junkyard. And that's it. I didn't even film anything. Yeah, short. Your back better? My back is better, more or less. Yes. I went to work today at Jared's place. Did some more framing. Yeah, it's mostly better. What was I just talking about? Shorts? Oh, speaking of shorts and the lengths of video, and my last video being shorter, I can see there's a few people in particular who really don't like when I do long live videos. And for some reason, instead of just not watching them, they seem to tell me that I should stop making them and whatever, instead of just not watching them, which I don't really get. So, if you don't like them, my invitation to you is to not watch them, or watch them live. So the live videos are meant to watch while we're here, because I'm interacting with you guys, whoever's commenting, and it's a lot more fun. I feel like that's probably obvious to most people, but for some reason to other people it's not. So yeah, I really don't know what to say to you. As for like my long form vlogs, when I make a vlog, usually, most of the time, I don't know how it's going to turn out in real life. So since I just vlog about things that I'm already going to be doing, I rarely do something for a vlog. I just vlog the things that I'm already going to do, if that makes sense. And since I do it that way, and life is life, and, you know, life being life, it's unpredictable, I just kind of film as I go, and then I make the video based off that. Now, if that means that I, like, let's say, for example, okay, we're going to be planting some trees in Armando's yard, which I brought up on another vlog before. That seems pretty easy. I'm like, maybe I'll film that, maybe I won't. I probably will, since I've mentioned it a couple times already. Now, the video is about me planting some trees and some plans we have for the Gapwing Forest. Probably is what I'll have it set out to be. But if there's a tornado Should I not film the tornado happening? No, of course I should, because that's awesome to catch that on film. It's got some good drama. It's got some good, it'll be fun to watch. As devastating as it might be for the surrounding folks not filming, it would be devastating to me too, as well. Of course, no one wants to lose their home. But I'm going to film it, and then I'm going to make a vlog about that. Or I'm going to make the vlog encompass that. How do you say that? And then whatever happens with that gets put in the vlog to complete the story. And so if it happens that a vlog that could have been 15-20 minutes about planting trees turns into 45 to an hour because there was a tornado, that's because that's what happened. So that's why it's long. Now, of course, I've never filmed a tornado, so I don't know why I came up with that as an example, but hopefully that makes sense. Hope you get to feeling better soon. Stacy R. Stacy's not feeling good. I don't know what Stacy's going through, but hopefully. She says, love the long lives and vlogs. Well, thank you. I love the long lives, especially when there's random road trip involved. Oh, those are fun. Some people, I don't get it either. I will say I tend to not watch them unless they are live. Well, there you go. See, and that's totally fine. I wish that people would watch all of them because I think they're all good. Although I might change my mind watching, if I ever watch them later. And be like, and I might be like, oh, why did I put that in there? But in a live, I would never say that because, well, this is live. So, as much as I know I'm just washing dishes here, but I know that if someone asks the question that delves into, I don't know what, I might have a long answer, and then it might go on a tangent, and then someone else might have another question, and then it makes me take forever to finish dishes. So the lives are as long as they are. Now for vlogs, I don't know. I like making videos, which I didn't know that I would like making videos. I kind of refused to vlog for several days when I was doing the Potter House series, and those of you who might not know the Potter's House series, that's my friend's channel, Alex, from Curiosity Inc. He told me that I should vlog, and I was like, nah, that's so lame, I'm not doing that, that's so dumb. I'm not vlogging. I did try to vlog videos. Those ones were actually short. And I didn't really like it because it took so much time, and they weren't staged because they were things that I was actually doing, but I did them specifically for YouTube. Where now I wouldn't consider myself a YouTuber. I just do stuff on YouTube because I'm already doing those things. Where a lot of people will do things for a video, I don't do anything for a video necessarily. I just video the things I'm already doing. But anyway, I like making videos, but since they're not scripted or anything, the art part of it is not in the in the writing, because there is no writing. The art part of it is in the edit, and I like trying to find good ways to do different edits, different transitional shots, different I don't even know what the lingo is for film making elements, if you will. Like it's just I don't know. I like when I'm like, I don't know. Although I do have to say my next 3 vlogs are they lack any sort of creativity on my part. But that's just because it's a tour of the art walk, and you'll see there's lots of talented artists. All I literally do is just point the camera. Some people get upset, most people don't. I kept some of the drama in real time. Others I just fast forwarded it. And on this one I tell you how many times I'm speeding it up. So if I made it 3 times faster. There's like 3x times speed or whatever I said. And so now you can slow it down so you can watch it in real time if you want to. However you do that, which I don't know how you do that, but I see people do that all the time. I wish you'd do my dishes. So glad you went live. Was getting bored sitting with my dog who just got home from surgery. Oh, snap. That's the Stacy R thing. Love the long vlogs. Ha. I need to check video length before watching. I get snacks and get comfy and then realize it's short and then end up sitting with snacks and nothing to watch. LL, but too comfy to move again. Well, you could always watch someone else. Watch some, for some reason I'm blanking on any other person who does YouTube videos. Watch some, wow, watch my brother. It doesn't matter what you do or how long it is. I'll always end up watching, even if it takes me 2 days. There is that option too. You could always press pause. You just do you. Some people just have to give their opinion no matter what. Hey, I do have to say though, opinions being stated, sometimes they are helpful. Because like, sometimes, well, you know, there can be suggestions, which I guess is a little more than just an opinion. There can be advice and all that stuff too. But like, for example, some of the things I put in my videos are because of what some people have suggested or have brought up in the past, like the to be continued, the thanks for watching, I'm trying to think of some of the other elements that I put in there on a regular basis. Well, there's some that are hidden. Some Easter eggs. Oh, by the way, speaking of Easter eggs, Landon put out a video. Landon, oh, that's one of the things that's always in all the videos. Anytime Landon shows up, I put his name up there. That annoys a lot of people, which I think is funny. That makes me laugh. Because it makes no sense that it annoys you. Because it literally does nothing for you. It's very annoying when soldiers salute each other. That's what they do. That's part of their shtick. Not that I'm saying that my videos are on the same level of importance or whatever as the military might be. That's not what I'm saying. I know someone will twist it into that, but I'm just saying that's a thing that a certain someone does. Anyway, doesn't matter. Landon put out a video. His channel is called Landon Burt, which I don't know what the bird is. It's like Landon Burt and I make art is how you can find him. Anyway, he has his first video out. He has a couple shorts, but he has his first video out. I make a couple cameos in there. I just watched it yesterday. Ashley wanted to watch it, so we threw that on, and I totally forgot about some of this, a lot of the things that happened in there. We rescue a bee, and which made me remember that we also were playing with a jumping spider, but that didn't make it into his video. But I remember doing it. Anyway, go check out his video. Are the peeps who complain about long vlogs the same who complain about long hair? I don't get no, there is one person in particular who I remember because almost all their comments are complaining about things, which is funny because they seem to watch all the videos. So they must like us, me, the videos. But they always have some shitty to say about my appearance, which is funny because judging by their picture, they could work on themselves. They look like absolute slobs, but that's not my place to really say. But anyway, it doesn't matter. They complain about my hair all the time. There's lots of people who do. Some people like email me and stuff. And sometimes I want to like make a video about it, but then I don't want it to turn not lighthearted because I don't honestly have a problem with it. It is annoying, of course, but like it doesn't make me like hate them or anything. And if I made a video about it, I'm sure they would assume that I hated them, and I don't want them to think that because I definitely don't. Uh, but sometimes it's quite ridiculous, their suggestions. Uh, Anyway, if it was one-on-one in person, I would say a lot more, but it's not really fair that they can't respond to me in real time unless they're on right now, so I don't want to say too much more. But then there are other people who are quite regular who also complain about the videos or other things. And sometimes, right, it's not necessarily a complaint, or even lots of times, it's not even a complaint. It's more of a thinking out loud sort of thing, right? And like I do that all the time. Like I always comment on things that I don't like, but since I don't do it in a post, it doesn't seem like that's all I'm doing. Whereas it seems like that's all they're doing because that's all they're posting about. Um, but in their head, they're probably like, "Oh, that's cool that he made, whatever I happen to make that video or whatever." So they might seem like jerks or whatever, but they're probably not. You can tell the difference of someone who definitely is a jerk versus someone who's just said something that makes them come off as a jerk. Because, like, for example, I could say if there is someone walking around with like a weird outfit on, I might be like, wow, that looks so stupid. But I don't think that they're stupid necessarily. I just think that what they're wearing looks dumb. And that's totally okay. And since it's okay for me to have that opinion, it's definitely okay for someone else to have that same or similar opinion. Any opinion, really. I mean, of course, there's a line that can be crossed, but I wouldn't go up to that person necessarily and be like, hey, your outfit sucks. Because it just doesn't make any sense. And by the way, anything that I would say online, I would say in real life. I'm not one of those people who would, I mean, obviously I almost said I'm a public figure, which makes me sound like I'm like, look how important I am. I make videos and put them on YouTube. That's not what I mean. I offer myself as entertainment for others online is what I'm saying. So obviously I don't have I'm saying this very clumsily, but I hope you understand I don't have a problem with people having opinions that they express necessarily, because I also have opinions that I express just differently because I don't say. Geez, I really don't know how to say what's in my head very articulately. Articulately? Is that a word? Articulately. No. How do you say that? I don't even know how you say that. Okay, doing a water change here. I hope what I said made sense, even though there's a lot of gaps there. Short answer. Maybe they are the same people who complain about both things, long hair versus long vlogs. I don't know. You know what's funny? My mom is not a fan of dudes having long hair. She does not like it at all. And when she saw me, she started laughing, which I thought was funny. And she said, "You look like a wild man." Which was funny. So my mom's home now from Arizona. Finished up the things that she was trying to get done there. And so now she's home. So welcome home, Mom. She doesn't watch these videos, but yeah, she thought I looked hilarious, especially when I didn't shave for so long. And when I shaved, I thought I looked so weird. And anyway, she thought I looked funny because she hasn't seen me since my sister's funeral, which was in, when was that? Jeez, I forget. Anyway, it's been a while, and so she was not expecting to see me like this. Sometimes if I can't watch the vlog in one sitting, I continue watching later when I can. Easy peasy. Love your vlog. Oh, thank you very much. I have long hair in the back, and it protects my neck from mosquitoes biting my neck. You got a mullet? Or what? You got over 32,000 followers. That's close to godliness, isn't it? Is it? My brother got stung by a wasp the other day, and he had to go to the ER. I sent him the link to your Sting Gene video, and he got a laugh out of it. Dude, good! Stacy, dude, that's awesome. As my brother would say, he'd press the button, and then there would be a ding, and he'd be like, that's a win! That's hilarious. That's actually the short that wait, did I already say that? I'm making a short about that. I know I brought up the short, but I don't know if I said what it was going to be about. But that's what it's going to be about. It's going to be about my brother laughing his head off at me. That was hilarious. That was very hilarious. And that was another video where people had a lot of opinions. All these healthcare professionals and or people who just have experience with allergic reactions, or people who just wanted to say what they wanted to say. They were like, you guys are so stupid for not going to the hospital sooner. Which might be correct. I disagree because I felt fine. And also the swelling was not that bad. And I couldn't see myself when I was sleeping. But yeah, it was pretty bad, but it was also hilarious. Like, did you not laugh? I mean, some people were like, this is not funny at all. Which, yes, it was. It was hilarious. You have no sense of humor. Nothing went wrong. I didn't die. I didn't choke. There's no ill effects that have been lasting. Some people do think that my headache thing is from that, but that seems to be very unlikely. The events are a year apart, and it just doesn't make sense. But anyway, opinions are okay if they're said with good intentions and tactfully. I think opinions are okay regardless. I just think that you have to be prepared for that person to not be okay with them being said to you. I think it's okay to express your opinion, even if it's shitty, but just be prepared for what comes with having a shitty opinion, right? Just, that's, so my last video, I talked about Just Josh and Wichita. Thank you everyone who has subscribed to there. Now we have like 2,000 and some subscribers, which is pretty cool, for some, guys who don't even do anything on a channel anymore. Thank you very much. I remember one of the episodes is about someone who said something, I'm going to paraphrase and probably say it somewhat incorrectly, but it was something like this. I made a mirror, not a mural, what do you call it? A mosaic. Let me show you for those of you who are new. I can't remember what vlog this was. It was like 87 or something, or 97. I can't remember. I'm gonna just take some stuff down here so you can see this. But I made this. Okay, let's see. I made this mosaic up here. You can see it's like a polar bear, right? I made a mosaic of a polar bear in a closet, and you can see this is our messy closet. This actually used to be the entrance to our bedroom, right? Just imagine I built this out. It used to not be there. I was talking over to here. And yeah, anyway, when I put that in there, I built the closet because there was no closets in this house. And when I put that in there, I wanted it just to be kind of cool. And so I put the bear up there because I thought it was interesting. And I remember someone saying, and again, I might butcher this a little bit. I remember them saying something to the effect of why didn't you why didn't you make it in, or why don't you make it in stained glass? Do you think that Mary Borgstrom, the potter from the Potter series there, would limit her creativity? Which to me sounded like he was saying, why would you do it in tile? That's not creative enough. You're limiting your creativity by using tile. I use tile and not stained glass because, one, I don't have any stained glass and it made no sense to use stained glass. I work primarily in reclaimed upcycled materials, although I have no problem getting new materials too. But I was just like, what the heck? So I remember him saying that, and again, this is in one of the Just Joshing with Chakota videos. I read out our exchange. I can't remember exactly what it was. I told him to kick rocks at the end of my thing, and he thought that was harsh and rude and out of line. The guy who told me that asked me if I thought someone else, some other artist, completely irrelevant from what I was doing, asked me if they limited their creativity, and I was just like, huh, you think that in my head I'm thinking you think I'm limiting my creativity because I'm not doing something that you would do or also wouldn't do? I don't know. I don't even know how to resolve that in my head. So anyways, I said what I said, and I remember my brother saying, because I told him anyone can say whatever they want, and he said, except for to you. He thought for some reason I was off limits to someone saying their opinion or expressing their opinion. And my stance is always, and has always been, as long as I can remember, although it could have changed to this, I'm sure, has been say whatever you want, just expect someone to say something back, which is exactly how I operate in my real life. So if I say something shitty to someone, usually it's because they are shitty. Usually. I mean, of course, I'm not perfect, so I will say things unwarranted at times, even a lot of times. Who knows? But normally it's because that person has already demonstrated themselves as being shitty. And of course, that's up to a matter of opinion as well. But anyway, I can't remember what our whole conversation was on the whole thing. But anyway, I absolutely would do something in stained glass, but not something that would go up against. I actually think it would be a waste of that material to use stained glass up against something that's opaque. But I do want to do stained glass, specifically. Well, where that painting is, right there, there's a fireplace downstairs in the basement in that same area. I was going to put a fireplace there as well when we first moved in, but I didn't want it to take up a lot of the living room, so I was going to build it out, and I wanted to put stained glass on so it would be like a bump out, right? And it would be a wood stove, not a fireplace. It would be a wood burning stove. And I wanted to put two stained glass windows on the outside, or on the two sides, and then on the back was going to be all like stone or whatever. And I thought stained glass would look cool in there. And I was going to make it. I've never done stained glass, but I was just going to learn and try to execute something that was functional. But I never got around to it. So definitely I would, but also, and this is nothing against Mary as an artist at all. She's definitely talented and was a master at her craft in primitive pottery. But in my opinion, and this might rub people the wrong way, but I think that I am more creative than her. And so when someone says or implies that I'm not as creative as someone who hasn't shown much creativity, shown creativity for sure, but from what I've seen of her work compared to what I have done, I just don't think it's as creative, in my opinion. which I think is probably the opinion of I don't know if I should say most objective people, but I just think objectively speaking, I have exhibited more creativity than her based off of the body of work I've been able to see of hers, what people could see of hers versus of mine. So anyway, that's why I thought of that. And I do not think at all that she's a bad artist or that I'm a better artist. I just think that I have shown more creativity. So I was just like, huh, well, that's a shitty thing to say. I'm going to say this in return. So anyway, he stopped following me. He said, which is a shame because I'm such a creative guy or whatever he said, something like that. Clint might be here. I'm a little early, but that's okay. I have 3 things left here. Anyways, I think Mary was a technical potter. Mary just specialized in one technique. Well, she actually was capable of much. So that's what I don't want to get misconstrued. I actually think she was a good artist. So that's not what I'm saying. I just think that her method that she specialized in, of course, was the primitive style. And in doing it, that style, from what I understand, it's difficult to do some of the pieces that she's done in that style. And that actually might, like if I ever got into pottery, I might learn just what that means. That actually might mean a lot more than I actually understand, or it might mean less than what I understand. From what I understand, it's just when she made those spheres with the thin walls or whatever, apparently that's difficult to do at all. I wouldn't know because I've never tried it, but I can like that's something that's pretty easy to believe. But to do it in the primitive method with a wood-fired kiln and all that stuff, perhaps is even more difficult. And some of her other pieces that she's done, come on, there we go. Apparently, show the signs of a master potter. And I mean, I'm inclined to believe that. One thing that I thought was really impressive was her ability to see 3D space in what seemed to be just abstract lines, like pictures, if you will. She like mapped, I don't know if that's the right verbiage there, but some of her drawings, I thought they were just, I don't know, sometimes when you see a Picasso, it's very unimpressive. You're just like, okay, that's whatever. But she would draw like these designs, if you will, that had these swirling lines, some straight lines, and sometimes she colored them, sometimes she didn't. We found hundreds of her drawings, or I should say, Alex found tons, I found some, and we didn't know what they were exactly because they just looked like, you know, just, I wish I could describe it better. I'm going to try to draw an example of one. And this is not going to be, this is not copying one of her drawings or anything. This is just something I'm going to make up. So it will not be an example that you can be like, oh, I see what you mean. That turned into whatever. Okay. So, for example, imagine I found this drawing. Okay? Hopefully that glare from the sun isn't too bad. Okay, imagine I found this drawing. This doesn't look like anything. This looks like just kind of a scribble, in a sense, right? But we found out that some of her drawings that, again, this is not, I don't remember any of her drawings looking exactly like this, but just if you can just imagine. This is a pot, which it doesn't look like a pot at all because it's 3D that's been collapsed into 2D somehow. Uh, Normally, like if you're gonna do like this would be my example of a pot or a vase or whatever. Okay, I might this is terrible. I can do much better than this, but just for sake of demonstration. I might draw this. That's 2D, but you can see it's kind of 3D. That's a terrible drawing of a vase, but you can see, like, you can kind of get the 3D out of that. This doesn't look 3D at all. It just looks like flat. But somehow in her mind, she saw her 3D pot broken down, flattened in 2D with shapes like this. And how we figured that out, I think she may have mentioned it when speaking to her in person. I never spoke to her in person, but Alex did. But we also found some like journal entries and stuff that explained it, or they weren't necessarily journal entries, but just some stuff that she had written. And on some of the drawings, you could see you like there was like notes, if you will, where it would say the whatever pot or the whatever this or the whatever that, and then there would be notes about the pot on this particular thing, and sometimes there would be like notes in certain areas and stuff. Anyways, figured out that whatever. All this to say is that I do not think that she wasn't a good artist at all. I know that some people are gonna take that away from what I've said about me being that I believe that I'm just more creative than her. But again, that it doesn't even matter that I think I'm more creative necessarily. It doesn't. I think I'm more creative than a lot of people, but I don't necessarily think I'm a better artist than them. I hope that makes sense. Conceptual sketches. I don't even know if that's the right word. It's not. It's beyond that, I think. Mary's mind was amazing. Taking a picture like that and seeing a 3D object. When you saw the thing she'd made in the picture, you can totally see it after. Sometimes you could, but only because of like certain like swoopy details. But oftentimes it's just like, what? What? How is that? Right? It just didn't make sense. But I sometimes imagine like as if like a computer uh like takes the flat drawing and like if you can have like a infinite view of it, it like pulls it out and like twists it and whatever, because it was basically instructions, sort of. It's like first do this, then wrap it around and blah blah blah, right? It had all that detail in that flat drawing. So if you can just imagine like a crumpled mess, right? This is the picture that she drew, and then when it's made into a pot, it goes and whatever. This is the shape, but how she could see it in 2D or whatever, she like, and like I'm not sure if she drew it first. She must have drew it first and then made the pot out of it. I don't know. It was pretty freaking cool. And then of course she had some actual drawings and some like paintings. In my opinion, she was not a good painter, but like the pictures she drew were not, or painted were not very technically good. But however, that might have been exactly what you wanted. Like to me, Picasso he is a great artist when he chose to be, but he also made some absolute shit art, in my opinion. Just some absolute garbage. But he had a reason, I'm assuming, for making these very mediocre pictures. And perhaps she was doing the same thing. There are some artists who I'm friends with who subscribe to that way of doing art, where like the concept is to do bad, not to do bad art, to do simple art, let's say, where it's not very impressive. Like where you see it, you might like the picture because of the way that it's comprised. it's not done. It's not like wow, that looks real, or oh wow, that's a good execution of a, whatever the painting is. It's more so for some reason that looks good the way that it's put together. Seems like a passion was used to create by her artistry. Seems like a passion was used to create by her. Dyslexia, artistry, and 3D in the mind. Dyslexia art? I don't know what that means. Like dyslexic? Like, I think dyslexic artist. So a warp theory. Ooh, is that a real thing, Jim? That I think describes it. Yeah, you warp your 2D image, if you can imagine my 3D hands being 2D flat, your 2D image into your 3D physical piece. Oh dang!
And this was just like quickly, not even very thorough, grabbing off the top.
Got a lot of raspberries.
And another one. Is this one?
Okay. You have the other pail?
I just don't put these in the fridge.
Oh yeah.
The chicken's getting
And you're giving those to Elena, you said. Okay. Yeah, warp theory. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Yeah, no, I hear you. I actually really like that. I'm wondering if that's actually what it's known as. I think that's why art itself is subjective. Everyone sees and thinks of things differently. Right. Her passion for primitive poverty fired her creativity. That's what I mean. Oh, sure. Josh, can you please tell my son Andrew to have a great day at work? Have a good day, Andrew. Break a leg. Hopefully not your own leg, but that would be a good story if someone broke their leg, and therefore a good day. Might also be a bad day. I don't know how to give people well wishes for the day, clearly, but Andrew, have a good day. Warp theory, I like that. As for seeing 3D in the mind, I actually thought that that was something that everyone could do. So I think that is probably a very common thing, although maybe not everyone is able to do it. It is very easy for me to see a finished piece in my mind. Normally, when I do a sculpture or a painting, I know what I want it to look like, although it may evolve as I'm painting based off of, happy accidents or intentional changing of the mind. But like, let's say, especially for a sculpture, some people say, how do you see that out of a bunch of spoons? It's like, well, I don't necessarily see where each spoon is going to go. I just know that a tree looks like, I mean, all trees are different, but they all have a general quality to them. And so it's not that I see the spoons as the perfect, or in their perfect placement. It's just that I need leaves, so there's spoons, okay? And the rebar for tree branches, well, they are already stick-like, so all I gotta do is bend it a little bit so it looks more stick-like, add some weld onto it so that it looks more gnarly, more bark-like. Bam, there we go, we got a tree. To me, it is very unimpressive to make a lot of the things that I make. It's just, they look cool. I don't think that they're hard to make. I am proud of a lot of them because they look nice, but it's not hard. It's easy. As long as you know how to, like, in terms of talking about welding sculptures, as long as you know how to use the tool and you can see something in your head, you can make something in front of you. Like, when people ask about paintings, I typically use several reference photos. I don't normally paint from my mind because I'm a lot of time painting people, although I'm now exploring more pop art stuff and things like that. I have some concepts in my head anyway. Um, but when I'm painting a picture of someone, I'm just like, just make the lines look the same. Make the lines that show up in your photograph look the same on your canvas. So a nose looks like a nose, paint the nose. Okay, there's a weird line I can see here that already exists. Let's put that same line right here. Then it makes it easy. That, I think that makes, when you break it down like that, it makes it way easier. You know how some people, they'll use the grids? Well, that same grid exists on this picture. They're not just drawing squares for no reason. You just make each individual square look the same. Transfer that square over to there. Okay, so in this square, I can see that these relationship of lines, if you will, look like this. I'll do the same thing here. And I don't know if it's easier, but I imagine you could see what adjustments need to be made if you don't paint all the squares that touch each other all at once, if you will. You can do some of the squares and then do some of the squares here, and then you can see how your relationship lines, how they, like, so say someone has like a I don't know, like a cloak on, if you will. Say you're painting a picture of Obi-Wan Kenobi for some reason. Okay, he wears a cloak. I couldn't think of someone who wears a cloak. Right? Has a cloak on. You know that line goes from these squares up here, and it does something here, and then it comes out over here. You might want to paint these ones up here, and then these ones down here, if you're doing that grid thing. And then you can see where the complicated swiggly part here, how exactly it needs to be. Even though you can see the squares, you can like expand it, like zoom out, if you will, and it might help you place those more correctly. I don't typically use the grid way. I mostly just look and then get angry a lot that I suck at making hands, noses, eyes, everything. But, you know, everyone's different. The artist is getting lost in his art. I don't think I was getting lost. I'm not very good at explaining what's in my head. I don't do the welding part, but my daughter and I have done some cool epoxy sculptures. We use Lego blocks as part of the molds. Right. I'm going to make the dragon for you to put in amber. Or not in real amber, but in epoxy. Recreating is easy. From my mind, mission impossible. Really? So, if someone wants me to make a... Okay, so here's an example. There is that hot dog sculpture I made. Someone wanted me to do a sculpture of their mom's, I think, wiener dog. And I didn't want to do that necessarily. I was like, it would be cooler as if I made a hot dog that had a wiener dog head and a tail. And they agreed to let me do that, so that's what I did. I have never seen that before. I'm sure it exists somewhere because it seems very obvious, but it was completely from my head. But you know what? Wiener dogs already exist. So I definitely looked at a picture of wiener dogs so I could see like the shape of their head and the ears and stuff. And I looked at hot dogs and I looked at hot dog buns. You know, I think what's harder for me is finding the right materials. Like I just made that out of air dry clay, but I should have made it out of like some like epoxy clay, like I don't even know what it's called. I've seen other artists use it though. It would have been way more durable. Because it did get shipped, I can't remember where. But one of my favorite sculptures I think I ever made. What would be, I'm trying to think of an example of what would be hard for me to create from my mind. Maybe, who said that? Who said that that was impossible? maybe give me an example of what would be from your mind. Who was that? Was that Jassy Joe? Jassy Joe? My head has ideas that my hands can't produce for love nor money. Um, Going to be stretching my 3D thinking soon. Want to make a jackalope out of chicken wire for an exhibition this winter. Okay. Okay, so when you're limited to material, yeah. But that's just problem solving, which again, that's not very difficult if it's something. Here's the difference, I think, in some people. There's a problem that you have to solve, and there's a problem that you don't have to solve. And if you don't have to solve it, it's a lot harder to find a solution because you don't care, right? But the consequence of that arise from needing to do it, and of course needing is an open term. It could mean that you need to do it for an art show, but no one's forcing you to. It's just something that you want to do. So that chicken wire, like I can I have an idea of how I would do it out of chicken wire, right? Because like it's moldable, so you just have a mass of it, and then you kind of start. I would start at the head, I think, and then you scale everything off the head. Um, but like, I'm trying to think. If I never thought of why I would do that, so like let's say a lot of people who see my art or anyone's art, they might be like, "Oh, how do you do that? Oh, I would have never thought of that." Clint just texted me. Karen picked up 60 spoons. Nice. Um, uh, Shit. Clint, you screwed me up. I'm blanking. He texted me here. He's coming over to finish a tree that he's doing. I have two dash hands, says Miss Glow. Yeah. This procrastinating as it's fine. It's coming from weeding, middle of winter here, but it's 12 degrees Celsius, sunny day. Nice. Miss Lazlop is leaving, I think. Shit, now I forget what I was saying. Problem of too many options make it harder to drill down. Yeah, sure, that could be too. Yeah. Uh, yeah. I think when your solution is no, say your limitations allow for more obvious solutions. Would obvious be the right word? More immediate solutions. Like, so Jim wants to make that jackalope out of the wire. So you know that you have bunny ears and you got antlers. So with the idea to make everything out of one piece, sometimes that might be the thing that you want to do, or that's one of the limitations you have, or one of the criteria that you have to follow. So what would breed the creativity is the limitation, I think. But I'm trying to think of why it would be hard, and to me, it just doesn't seem like it would be hard. I feel like it would be uh, perhaps frustrating, but I think that's because the material has a mind of its own, if you will. Of course, it doesn't, but it's made a certain way. It has properties to it that you know, constrict and restrain it. I'm thinking, I'm thinking, I'm thinking to not myself, and therefore I'm having trouble understanding why it would be hard to do anything, which is such a vain thing of I'm so amazing, so nothing is hard to me. That's not what I'm trying to say. Of course, there have been things that have been difficult for me to do, but usually it's on a technical, like an operational part. It's like if I want to make I don't know, a giant King Kong sculpture, my limitations would be tools and my understanding on load, maybe. I wouldn't want this thing to fall down, so I need structural. Like the engineering part might be the difficult part, so I might just be like, oh, what material would work? What material can hold up lots of weight? What material can I definitely not use? You know, maybe that'd be that. What kind of armature does this need to hold it up, you know? I don't know. I'm not helpful at all. I'm sorry. Josh, have you ever used plaster in your finger paintings or to make it more 3D? No, I have never done that. I probably never will, but never say never. I guess I'm not opposed to it for any particular reason. I have made those very 3D. Here's what I'll say. I think that 3D paintings are okay, but they're not my bag. Like I know, like there, you'll see in my next vlog, there's a lady who does those 3D like forests and stuff. I love those paintings, slash sculptures. uh, they're awesome, but I don't want to create one. You know what I mean? So I think my limitation is my willingness to do it. What about a textured painting? Oftentimes, I think that texture takes away from art, from paintings, certain paintings, and then sometimes it adds a lot. So I guess it depends. Like sometimes what I don't like about a painting is what takes me out of it is when it looks like there is too much invested in making it textured rather than making a nice picture. And of course that's subjective because someone else might think it looks awesome to have a bunch of fuzziness or a bunch of scaliness or whatever. I don't know. Now you have to draw King Kong in a painting like you did the Loch Ness Monster. You know what? I have this idea. I have a lot of ideas. Yeah. Do you use oils or acrylic paint? I mostly use acrylic. I have used some oils. I do have to say my knowledge with oils is not good. My knowledge with acrylics is also not good, but since acrylic is you don't need to know anything, it's way easier to use. I mean, it is helpful to know some things, of course. Like I don't know how to use any gel mediums or anything like that. Like I just literally I take the paint, put it on the canvas. That's it. I have pre-gessoed canvas and that's it. Like I literally don't know anything. I just want to make a picture and hopefully the picture looks nice. That's how I paint. Also, I finger paint and I hate wearing gloves. So yes, Lori says oils are more toxic. So I use a non-toxic paint. I'm sure maybe that means something different to the different companies that say that their paint is non-toxic. But yeah, I mean, there's certain colors where their pigment comes from traditionally anyway, is toxic to be, if it stays on the skin for a long time, does your skin ingest it? Is that the right word? It like leaches into your skin. That can be not good. You obviously don't want that to happen. And supposedly with the paint that I use, that does not happen. But of course, I still wash my hands. But as you can see here, there's still some white paint on my hands. Oil does not feel good on the hands anyway. Not that acrylic feels good, it's just not bad. Okay. I think we're good. I'm just gonna wash out this sink and then we're done. I'm also gonna wash out this cloth. Oh yeah. Okay, do we have any closing questions? Absorbing toxins would suck, yeah. Mel from New Zealand. Guess he didn't think that was art. Wait, what did Mel from New Zealand say? Mel. You like your lane, and that's awesome. Where? Mel. Sorry. Josh, have you ever used plastic in your finger paints? Art to make it more 3D. Well, I didn't say it wasn't art. I mean, anything can be art. I mean, I actually disagree with that statement. No, I didn't mean to imply that that's not art. Is it a good headache day? It is a good headache day. Thanks to the drugs. The only thing that sucks with these drugs is that I have to take them, of course. That's number one. But also, man, they make me so bloated and fat. I don't like it at all. And I can't wait till I don't have to take them anymore. I mean, I could choose not to take it, but I would be so miserable. So miserable. It's impossible to stay positive all the time of feeling that what I used to feel all the time. Still. For all this time. However you say that. Oh, we were talking about the plastic pine trees on your wall in the house. Oh, okay. Well, that's different. That's not a painting per se. So I like that. And some people, they go buck wild with that style of art or that medium, that genre, not genre, the discipline. I don't know. Right? Like you see those Asian girls. For some reason, I've just been seeing a lot of content on that style of art from these Asian girls, but they're like making whole city like scapes. I don't know how to like Asian cityscapes, like traditional with the cool roofs and stuff, and like the Great Wall of China. Look it up; they're freaking awesome. And those look um how do you say, like they look very 3D. Of course they are 3D, but they look they look more 3D than they are. They have so much depth to them, and they look awesome. That I think is awesome. Very talented type of art for those who are good at it. Um, but I don't care to ever do it. I don't. It's cool, but it's not for me to do. I would like to do. I'm gonna do one down my stairs of a buffalo, which I've explained in previous vlogs. Um, but like, I don't know. It's more so I just want it to be. I don't know. Just different. I would do. I want it. So my old youth group. I made uh, a table for them, and it's like a dinosaur that's inside of a crate. And they wanted me to do stuff for the walls, but then a bunch of shit happened where I didn't get to it, like COVID, and I got sick, and there was a bunch of other things. And we bought this house. All these different things got in the way of me doing that project. It was like a project I was doing for free, so I had to have time to do it where I didn't care about all the time that it was going to take to do it. And there were so many different things I was going to do, but now I probably am not going to do it. And which I think they're I think they know, although I haven't told them. But they're not really aware of what's going on with me. Although now I could probably do it. I just recently went to the pastor of that church, like the old pastor, like when I used to go there when I was a kid. He just died like little while ago, but his I guess it's not a funeral but whatever. His like funeral, I forget what it's actually called, was there a few weeks ago, and I went to that, and the new youth leader guy was there. I didn't talk to him; he was busy. But I was gonna be like, "Hey, did you get someone else to do the project down there?" Anyway, what I'm getting at is now I'm thinking what would be cool is if I did like a dinosaur like fossil a faux fossil painted into the wall. I think that would be cool. You know, Caden, Clint's son goes there. I should ask him if he if anyone else has done something there. Because I did the table with the dinosaur in it. I think it would be, which I did a video on, um, which you can look up. I think it's called Not a Typical Crate Table or something like that. Check it out. If you comment on it, I'll know that you went and watched it, for those of you who haven't seen it yet. I think it's a really cool table. Anyway, I think I'm going to do that in the wall if they still want someone to do it. Maybe I'll call them after this and maybe I'll do that. And that'll be a vlog where I do some plaster painting or whatever it's called. I don't know. I think it'd be cool. I can't wait for that either. They've got to be able to find out how to help you. I hope so. Beats the alternative. Dying, Jim? Or what do you mean? See you later, Penny. Memorial. Yeah, it was a memorial. That's what it is. I remember the Dino Crate Table video. Thanks, Jim. You flew down to La Brea to get inspiration, if I recall, right? I did. I literally did. I literally went all the way there so I could take some photos and stuff. Yeah, I was there for, what, 2 days or something? In the video, it looks like all I did was that. But I did do that. And then I also went to... I can't remember what else I did. I like adding a few embellishments. Some of my art has actually dead butterflies, bugs, lizards I found. LOL. Well, there you go. Mel from New Zealand. I would like to see that, Mel. Haven't been here in a while, says Glenda. What's up with the grunge look, Josh? Laziness, I guess. You could do the outline for it and have the kids fill it in. You know, that is something that is perfectly reasonable, right? That seems like a beautiful thing to do. Get the kids involved with something like that. And I hate it. I hate when people ruin my pieces of art. That's why I don't like doing collaborations, because I'm just like, my idea is better. Let's do my idea. And it's selfish. And so I try not to do it because I will be disappointed and I won't like it. But I do collaborations sometimes and I'm like, oh, it looks good. So good. It turned out good. Phew. But since they're kids, they're little kids, I know that it won't be good and I will be annoyed by it, which is not fair. So I'm just not going to do that. I'm just going to paint it on there or place it on there. I don't even know what the word is. I'm going to ask him. It's been years now. So he's going to be like, what? Because I've changed ideas so many times. But if he lets me do that, I think what I'll do is yeah, it'll be cool. It'll be cool. Could you do your fish art on the wall? Fish? Oh, yeah. Yep. I could. Not your typical crate coffee table. Way back in the early videos before vlog number 1. Right? LOL, you sound like Toto last night with our photo frame suggestions. What? What did he say? You know? Okay, so I did do that on Instagram. On My Hands Gallery Instagram. I asked for suggestions for my Terminator 2 painting. And I thought maybe I just didn't correctly explain what I was hoping for. But then I explained it again, and which I've what do you call it? I've made them a highlight, so it'll always be there until I take them down. But I made it a highlight, I did one story, and then like a month later, I came back to the painting, and I explained what I actually wanted, because it seemed, I was like, okay, so I have this scene. Okay, you guys might know the scene where Arnold, he's in the hallway of the mall, like in the back, hallway or whatever, behind the stores. And he has a flower box, and he pulls a shotgun out of it, and the roses go onto the floor in the box, whatever. And then he goes down like around the corner and stuff, and then it looks like he's going to shoot the kid, John Connor, but instead he says, "Get down," and then he shoots the bad Terminator who is dressed like a cop. At this moment in the film, you don't know that he's a good guy, because in the first movie he's a bad guy. And so, at least that's what I remember of it. So in the video, or in the film, that scene where he pulls the shotgun out is done from the front and down. And it there's a couple shots in the scene, but that particular part where he takes the gun out and what does he do? His I have it in my highlights. You'll be able to see. Anyway, oh yeah, he cocks it. That's what he does. So he puts his hand on it and then he cocks it. Right? In that scene, from the front and down, but I painted it from the side, from this view, right? And I took some artistic liberties by not having his left hand in it, because I suck at painting hands. It's just down still. But I placed the roses, and I placed the flower box where it would be in the scene. I studied it quite a bit. And so, but I wish I would have had a slightly longer canvas, because it would have probably been a little bit better. I don't know. Because I would have been able to show more of the roses in it, I think. Anyways, in those highlights, or in those Instagram stories, I explained, I was like, the painting is missing something, but I don't know what. What could it be? And the suggestions were terrible. Some of them were good, but most of them were bad. So I thought I explained what I wanted badly, because I was like, these suggestions make no sense. So then I re-explained it. I'm like, I want it to stay true, whatever I said, true to the scene. So he's in this hallway, and I showed the hallway, I showed the scene, I showed everything. And then the suggestions were still terrible. I was like, people were like, he needs flames. I'm like, but there's no flames in the scene, so why would he need flames in the painting? It makes no sense. Oh, maybe he should have the gun should be smoking, but he didn't shoot yet, so why would it be smoking? That makes no sense either. There should be a lot more rose petals, but there's no rose petals in the scene, so that makes no sense either. And one person, I thought this was hilarious. Ditch the plants, add destruction. And I was like, the plants are in the scene. There is no destruction in the scene. That doesn't work. Most of them I didn't reply to, because I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm either the worst, or people are trolling me, or they just don't get what I'm asking for. Anyway, someone else suggested, oh, it would be cool as if you did one of those. What are you barking at, bro? If you did like a different scene from the first movie in the background, like their suggestion was like the playground on fire. I was like, now that would make sense, because it doesn't deviate from the scene. It's kind of like a callback, and that artistic license works for this picture. So I considered doing that, but instead I didn't take anyone's suggestions actually. I just lightened up the background a little bit. I made it look a little grungy and dirty, even though in the film it didn't. Some people were like, oh, you should put grout lines, even though there are no grout lines on that wall. There are on the adjacent wall. Or not adjacent, the parallel wall, the other side of the hallway. Which maybe they just didn't realize, because maybe they didn't watch the story or something, or didn't remember or something. I don't know what would make you forget that so suddenly, but there could be so many different reasons, right? So I was just like, nope, that doesn't work, because there are no grout lines that show up, at least in that scene. There are a little bit later, there is, in a different part of the hallway, when he hasn't taken the shotgun out of the thing. I had someone else suggested, oh, you should have John Connor, the boy, crouch down. And I was like, that doesn't make sense either. There is a scene a little bit later, or a clip a little bit later where they're like, he like blocks him and he gets shot in the back a bunch of times. I thought of maybe getting rid of the roses and stuff and acting as though they were further out from the shotgun, but then they would be missing, and in the scene they're definitely at least there. So many different things. But anyway, I wonder what Chakota was saying about the suggestions. His idea are better than ours, basically. We still love him, though. Jim says, I look forward to our collaboration. Jim, you're a good artist. I think the problem is asking non-artists or something like that to collaborate with or for suggestions and help. Jim, I don't think that your ideas are bad. And I don't necessarily think anyone's ideas are bad. They just don't work for my vision, which think I think needs to stay intact for me to be happy with the end piece. With you, you have skill and talent, I guess you could say too, and you have artistic vision, if that's what you call it. Artistic vision. You have creativity. Those are 4 things. And these 2 are kind of the same, and these 2 are kind of the same, but they're different. You got the whole package. I think that having you, I wish you lived. You know what? My neighbor's house over there. No, sorry, over there is for sale. It's $1 million. If you happen to have an extra $1 million hanging around, you should move there so that we could be neighbors. Our yards can connect with the trail that's right there. That would be pretty cool. Just if you don't mind moving. I know it. Once you live somewhere for so long, you kind of you don't want to like uproot yourself. But my main trade is cakes and confectionery. Dangerous biz. So all my art gets eaten, LO. Not to be confused with non-edible art. Ah, I see. Dave says, I like Terminator. I love the Terminator. I like the whole franchise, even the bad one, the ones that people think are not good. An Archaeopteryx fossil would be cool with the feather imprints in the stone. You know what? I'm probably going to do an Albertosaurus. I don't know what that is, Archaeopteryx, but that's probably cool. Glue some shotgun shells to the painting. See? What kind of suggestion is that? That's one of those. I mean, you know what I would do? I would put shotgun shells in the frame. Don't poke your eye out on this. Yeah, that's aloe vera. Exactly what happened with Joy. He didn't like any of the suggestions, and it made him feel more confident in his own idea. Yeah. By the way, I'm not trying to say, and I don't think Chakota was either, saying that just because I don't like your ideas, and probably just because he didn't like your ideas, doesn't mean that he doesn't like that you gave the idea. Like, I don't think that at all. I'm glad that people gave suggestions. I just think they were not for what I was envisioning. And I think same for Chakota. Like, just because I think they're terrible ideas, it does not mean that I don't appreciate the idea, because I definitely do. That might sound like they don't go together, but they do. It's like now this is definitely not true, because there is such thing as a bad idea, but you know how people say there's no such thing as a bad idea, or there's no such thing as a stupid question, things like that. That's true in the context that I'm trying to explain. Is the idea is bad, but it could trigger something that's good. And like, I don't expect to like every idea, and I'm pretty sure a person doesn't expect every idea to be liked either. Yeah. Some people who suggested that was thinking of the other side of the hall and didn't remember. Yeah, probably. He said our suggestions validated his thoughts of what to do. Well, there you go. But it may not have taken the ideas last night. He was definitely inspired. I saw the light come on in his eyes. There you go, Tracy. I'll return my empties to the bottle depot, and that should pay for that place then. You heavy drinker, are you? uh, uh, I went back and watched Alex's Potter House reno. You looked like a baby. You and Dakota both. Yeah, sometimes I wonder if I wasn't under so much stress. There are some things that obviously we haven't talked to you about, but we've alluded to that have been so stressful. Where for over a year, I was I was staying up so late to solve this problem. I was staying up to like 4 a.m. every single night and still getting up at my normal, at 9 o'clock. So I'd have 5 hours or less of sleep. Well, normally I guess it would be about 5 hours or so, and I guess I would be outside at 9. Okay, I guess maybe normally about 4 hours of sleep, which is enough sleep to function for the day, but it is unhealthy, man. Anyway, I would stay up all night, every single day, just waiting, and then man, I aged so fast. Like I saw it, I was just like, dude, look at this video and look at this video, and then freaking uh, the last year, I'm like, dude, I look like I'm like 39 years old. I look like I'm 45 years old. Oh, I look like I'm 52 years old. Just jumping in age. I was just like, man. So if you can help it, don't get sick and don't have stress, I guess. But yeah, I did look way better, or way younger, I should say. And it's only been a few years, but we've just been dealing with some hectic things, and I hope to be able to make a vlog. I mean, I've already been making the vlog, but I hope that there's a happy ending to the vlog. So far there is no happy ending, and it's just freaking depressing, and there's going to be so much speculation if I put out the vlog now, and a lot of judgment, frankly. So I'm not going to put it out until there's a happy ending, and that might not ever be, but we'll see. It's, I think, the first feathered dinosaur slash bird. Ah, I see. Jack liked the ideas, but he has a different vision and what way he wants to go. Ah, you've had a stressful last year. Yeah, the last year, yes, but before that, or maybe I told you, Jim, what was going on. I don't know, but anyways, don't do it. But if you had short hair and a clean shaven face, you look loads younger. And oh, I would, yes, of course. I hope I live long enough to see that vlog. What? Is something wrong, Jim? What? Don't say that. Also, how old are you? You seem like a young old man. Like, there's some old people who are old, right? Like, you look at them and you're like, wow, that is a frail individual. And there's nothing wrong with that or anything. But then there's some old people, like you're obviously old because you have a white beard, right? But that seems to be it. Like, you don't move like an old man. You just you just are an old man. And I don't know how old you are, but like some people are old and you're just like, dang. And some people are old and they're not that old. Does that make sense? They're older. They 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 act older than they are. Like say someone's 60 and you're like, "What? You're only 60? I thought you were 90, dude." And that again, that could be sickness, illness, stress, hard life, all sorts of different things. So it's not a judgment. I'm not judging anyone. I hope that I get old one day. I think Clint is here, but I'm not sure because there's leaves in the way. Um. Anyway. Josh, you will find your happy ending. I just know. I hope so. No, it was a joke. Okay. Just logged on. I'm in the Med Fish Bowl too. I'm in the the Med Fish, like medicine fish bowl too. My numerous docs just point to one another or claim not me. You've had a traumatic year, lots to deal with and lots. Good times too. Hang in there. I feel sometimes it's all temporary and better times are ahead. Just take care of each other. I get it. I'm 57. I feel like I'm in my 80s. They better not be calling your ailments menopause. Is that yeah? I had this lady, and this must be based off experience. Like it seems that this might be common, but I'm not sure. I had one lady say that I was lucky that I was a man with this sickness because if I was a woman, I would not be believed. And I was like, well, that's shitty. I wonder why. I wonder what this woman has done or has had where they didn't believe her because she was a woman. That's such a shitty thing. If that happens to you, find a different doctor. Like my first neurologist basically gave up, so I don't see him anymore. Um, so I just see the second one, and I have an appointment with him coming up here again. Um, uh, that's it's so frustrating when you can tell that a doctor doesn't believe you or thinks that you're embellishing. But my first neurologist, I like him, and he as I hoped. He's very good apparently. He's amazing, but he just couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. My second neurologist, he's also very good. Apparently top in his field, but like I thought so was the other guy. Um, but anyway, he told me, he's like, I think that you are worse than you explain. And I was like, what? He's like, the way that you explain your illness, or your ailment, he said, your ailment sounds like you don't want to sound like you're embellishing. And I was like, thank you. Yes, don't want to sound like I'm embellishing. This is the worst, man. And of course, it was worse back then before I took the some of the drugs that I take now. And I told him, I was like, dude, I do not want to take. Clint must not be here. That's someone else. I think they thought this our driveway was a road because now they're backed up. Anyway, um, I told him I don't want to take these pills. I want to not need them. I feel better, but I don't feel good. I'm like, I still have. He's like, oh, you're still getting the headaches. I'm like, yes, yes. I never don't have them. Please. Okay. But anyway, uh, yeah. Being a product of Springer, Maury, and Dr. Phil, a happy ending has a whole new ending for me. Daytime TV is not good, lol. I used to watch Dr. Phil all the time. My mom is 94 and danced at her 100-year-old friend's birthday party. That's cool. Wow, just slamming the door over there.
The wind took the door.
Sorry for the type. Oh, eyes are crummy too. Dang. Sorry, I should not said nothing. What? I don't know. You've been frustrated with all the doctors who have. We've been frustrated with all the doctors who have seen my son also. It's been 2 years since his injury and still no relief for him. Yeah, that sucks. You're honest with the docs and admit to a daily glass of wine and they brush you off. I hate pills. You need a different doctor, I think. And of course, that's just me speaking from my position of nothingness, I guess. Because I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of uh, folks who are doctors who should not be. Like there's like someone who should be is like who Ashley works for. Like the testimonials that people have that I've heard like from them, I'm like, really? And like I would have never known because I don't see him. I just know him as a person because he's not my doctor. But I'm just that's so cool that these people can trust this stranger man, this just this guy, uh, with their health and stuff, and they're so happy that he is who he is. And like growing up and stuff, like I didn't see the doctor too often because I've never needed to. So I just assumed that's what doctors do. They help you. But there are so many doctors who suck. And I'm like, well, they're still people, so of course they can suck. Because like there's bad plumbers. There's bad fast food servers. There's bad did you guys know there's bad politicians? Uh, there's bad whatever in every job. And that sucks because there should be no bad doctors. There should be no bad firemen. There should be no bad police. There should be no bad soldiers. There should be no bad politicians. Like, we can't afford to have them. But there are. That sucks. And so that sucks for you guys who have told stories here about your bad experiences. That's a real bummer. I froze for a minute. Bad politicians? The Dickens, you say? Oh, that's funny. Anyways, this is a long vlog, so I know there is a certain few individuals who will complain about this. I will pin their comments so you guys can see what I see. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, sometimes I will, but yeah. We're going to go now. Or we. It's just me. I'm going to go now. I will talk to you guys next time. I'm going to make a vlog. Clint should be here soon, but he's a little late now. Earlier when I thought he was early, but now he's late. Anyways, have a good day. I will see you guys later. And Denise just got here. I'm sorry, Denise. Denise! Wait, are you Phoebe's roommate? Remember, 50% of all doctors were in the bottom half of their class in med school. That's right. You know what it should be like? It should be like Navy SEALs, right? You can be in the military and you're good enough for that. But to be in like an elite force, elite military force, I don't know what you call it, you have to be exceptional. And if you fail, you got to start over, or you just don't get in. That's what doctors should be. If you don't meet a threshold, you can still be in that bottom 50% too, but at least there's a threshold where this is elite. This, not elite. This, elite. That's what it should be. But it's not that. And on that note, my elite friends, have a good day / evening. I hope that this was fun. I don't know if I answered anyone's questions to their liking, but here we are. So yeah, I'm the one that sent you the big eyes. Denise! You are Phoebe's roommate. Yes, I don't know where those eyes are. They're somewhere. But every so often I think about this. I'm like, oh, I could use those big eyes here. I don't know where they are though. Yes. Anyway, no, I was asking if you were Phoebe's roommate. That's a Friends joke from the show Friends. Phoebe has an imaginary roommate named Denise. Anyways, Mel says, bye, bro. Have a good one. Okay. Okay. Oh, freaking Hannah Banana's here. She missed it.